Gonna have to get out, you think? Or you packing just in case?
Yeah, I got some essential things.
Oh, okay. You have your skates and your TV, or you have the skates?
I'm sorry?
Joel had to evacuate, and he said that he took the toothbrush and everything, then he said, oh, I forgot my skates.
Oh, skates. Hey, you know, whatever.
He loved to skate. I was like, no, you're supposed to get your TV. How y'all?
Good, thank you.
Do you mind coming closer so that the people can come in later? Good morning. Welcome to Fellowship. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Thank you all for being with me. You can go to our chat line, and I will respond to your questions or comments as they come in today. And good morning, everybody. Good morning. How y'all? Good. Amazing. So you guys are back from Mexico, huh?
They let us back.
I know. Did you let your wife and sister back too? Your daughter?
No, we left them behind. We just want to take a trip before Papa Trump gets in office.
Okay,
But
amazing.
he really won't let us back in.
Well, Happy New Year. Welcome back.
Happy New Year. Thank you.
Yeah. So nobody, I'm told, was affected by the fire here so far. All right. Good. Do you know anybody that was affected by it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like, in what way? How were they affected?
Lost their house.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Quite a few, actually.
You know, quite a few people lost their home.
Either
Hey.
in my immediate circle or within, like, so I know some people personally who lost their house, but I also
Right.
know people who, like, through work, secondary, not close friends, but they all lost their house. I'm hearing all kinds of things.
I know some people lost their house too,
Right.
up in the Malibu area or Pacific Palisades area.
I know people in both the Eaton fire and the Palisades fire. I know people from both sections that lost their house.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What a mess, huh?
Yeah. This is a challenge. The anger factor is going to be really challenging because it's frustrating when you start to understand all the details of what's involved here.
Yeah.
Because it's not just the wind and the fire, there's other factors.
What's happening?
I don't know why, but the mic keeps cutting out.
Oh, okay.
Keep the mic in something.
Sorry about that, buddy. Go
it's-
ahead.
I probably should stop watching the news because it's incredibly challenging to not get caught up in the anger factor.
Will you watch the news?
Oh yeah, because you know that there's some elements that weren't avoidable, and there was a lot of elements that were mishandled.
Yeah.
That's obvious. Now, to what degree or another is, that'll come out later, but I notice I'm on edge.
Even that's they're never going to tell you the real truth of what really happened.
Of course
you never
not.
will know the depths of this and the reason for it.
Well, that's what's frustrating because you see both sides of it. There are people that seem to be enjoying the "I told you so" factor of this.
Yeah.
And they're definitely creating content off of it. It's endless supply of content creation.
Yeah.
Look, see this, and then there's the other side, the apologists or the excusers. Neither one are good. But it's just a challenge not to get caught up and not to let your emotions
Right.
be involved in this.
Yeah.
You got to stay clear because we're not out of the woods. So, some people who are fine now might not be later.
Right.
So you need to think clearly. I mean, I'm even considering, if it does happen, defending my house myself, because there was a guy in Palisades who actually did it successfully.
Oh, he stayed there?
He stayed and he saved his house, and he even
Really?
pointed out, look, if there was just a little more water here and there, we could have saved more homes. He saved his neighbor's house too, right?
Nice.
Because the process of rebuilding for most people is not possible. It's just you're going to lose your property to a multi-unit dwelling.
Amazing. I was surprised Mel Gibson lost his home. I know I had seen him in the media, but I didn't know he was talking about he had lost his home. I thought he was talking about other people.
No, he was on, of all people, Joe Rogan when it was going on.
Yeah, I saw him on different shows.
Yeah,
What a mess, huh?
yeah.
Wait, you say you know someone there
2 people.
that lost their home?
2 people that I train with. They lost their home. Gone.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What a mess. Who do you blame for this?
Who do I blame? I'm a little torn because on one hand, it's easy to blame the politicians. They definitely took tax money. They definitely, in the guise of, protecting and going to build dams and all that type of stuff, and didn't build one. So it's easy to blame on that sense, but the people are to blame too, because they keep, even if it wasn't this particular governor or mayor, they would find somebody else who does exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
If you look back in time, all the mayors, all the governors are just about exactly the same.
Yeah.
Nobody ever votes in somebody new. So we're to blame too, in a way. The people that voted them in are to blame too.
Amazing. Is it hard for you to watch the news too, wanting to get angry at what you see?
No, I don't feel anger about it. But one thing that I noticed, I was feeling like,
Are we having a problem with the mic? Do we need to hold off for a minute?
No, we're just gonna use that mic.
Oh, okay.
I was feeling like, man, I wish it would like just rain and get rid of all this. It would be over in just a couple of days. And then I kind of thought, you know what? I'm safe. Maybe it is raining.
So you didn't wish it, oh, maybe it did rain?
So
Did you ask Jesus about the rain?
no, I was just thinking. I was kind of into, all these people are losing their homes,
Yeah.
and it's like a lot of it's totally unnecessary. No water in the fire hydrant. That makes me wonder
That doesn't even make sense to me.
right. That makes me wonder, is the fire hydrant on my street full of water or not? And I have to imagine
Well,
it's
you
not.
live in a Jewish area, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Oh yeah, the water's in yours.
I mean, I don't know. I hope so.
Oh no. But those people are Jewish up in the mountain, right?
I
Yeah,
would
so they
imagine.
might not be there. 'Cause
Right.
you with the lower Jews.
Yeah. I'm almost in the hood, so.
You're the Jew hood.
But my point is that I started to feel bad and then realized that I am perfectly safe.
Yeah.
And maybe that looks bad to, the way people think, but honestly, I can't live for everybody else, even though I was in my head thinking about everybody else.
Right.
So,
Amazing.
kind of something interesting.
Who do you blame?
Pretty much both. I blame the people for voting. I was actually driving through, I'm driving from Florida, and I drove through some states.
You
I
drove
drove my
from
car,
Florida?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I went to different areas. I went to Oklahoma City, and I saw how beautiful that city is. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And it's well taken care of. And then I'm thinking, I'm coming here to California where there's taxes up the yin-yang, and look, there's nothing getting done. And I
Yeah.
was thinking about that today. And I just feel like they're just getting richer and richer, putting the money in their pockets and not taking care of the people. And the
Absolutely.
people aren't seeing it. I don't know why people can't see. I guess We can
They're
see,
blind.
people can't see. Yep, and it's so obvious. It's obvious even when I was in a fallen state.
Yeah.
It was obvious. And now it's really
That's a
obvious.
good
it's,
point.
It's crazy obvious.
Even to a blind person, it's obvious.
Exactly,
what's wrong.
exactly.
You're
I could see
absolutely
this
right.
when I was blind. So I just think it's both. I think it's the people being blind and the people in the government. They know that they can take advantage and they can make money, and they don't
Yeah.
care. They don't care about you. And I realize that even seeing it in my own families, that they don't care.
Right.
People don't care. So if they don't care in your own family, you think they're going to care in the government and higher up? No, they're going to take your money, and then they're going to laugh at you.
Yes.
And they're going to tell you, ha, we did it. And they say it right in front of our faces. They even say, we're going to take everything from you, and we don't care. They say it now. They're not even hiding it anymore.
What a
So
mess.
it's crazy.
What's your first name?
Dana,
Is this your first time?
yes.
Oh, welcome. How did you hear about us?
I'll get a job like 6 years
Get
ago.
a job. Right on.
Yeah.
Any questions about anything?
No,
Okay, welcome.
thank you.
Right on. Who do you blame for this?
I don't know who to blame for it, but I think as a whole, I just feel like the state is in hell. And we're just seeing it play out.
Yes.
I think this is a representation of the hearts that, I mean, like people's soul, what we're living for, all the power that's gotten turned over to the government. And basically feels sort of like we're getting what we voted for.
Yeah.
So I don't like,
Absolutely.
it's like the people, I feel like the voters and the people that are in charge are like kind of, they're in the same boat.
Yeah. Amazing, huh? Were you about to say something? Yes. Were you saying something?
Well, she said we're getting what we voted for, but I don't agree with that because
And why not?
they were still counting the votes not that long ago. I don't think everybody voted for that.
Oh, okay. Amazing. I was thinking about this situation as well, and what I realized is that this situation in California is happening because the government want it to happen. They want it to happen. And they don't care about the people at all. I made a little note so I can make sure we voted for the people, and so we are getting what we deserve. As Doug or somebody said, that every year we vote in the same people. They can become like 80 and 90 and 70, not that 70 is old, because I'm not old. But you still vote in the same people. They could be senile, and you still vote them in. They could be passing out in the White House, and you still vote them in. So you get this kind of people that you want. You get the people clearly get the government they want, but the government don't care about you. They just care about money and power. They pretend to be trying to help you when they're really setting you up and using you for their own personal gain. They come up with all kind of programs and everything but working for us, putting water, making water available to put out fire, whatever the situation may be. They don't care about that. So in California, they've gotten rid of the water. There were like 3 or 4 dams that we had here, and we found out that they're totally empty. Think about that. And then they have, according to all the report, the water that's supposed to be coming in for the farmers and for the land is being pushed out into the ocean because they want to save a fish. So the people can't run the farms the way they like. There's no water in the faucet or the dam to put out the fire because of environmental want to save a fish. And the reason our government is going along with the environmental people is because they want the money. The government people get money when they go with these programs. And no water. The water is run out into the ocean, and then when we get our water bill, they charge us buku money for a water bill. And they say, you got to cut back on the water bill, on the water, But where is the water? It's in the ocean. Can you even believe that? And yet we vote for them. And then we vote for bills that cause us to pay more taxes. Like they say, oh, we need money for the homeless. We got to help the homeless. And so I'm like, well, why are there homeless people out there? The government made sure the homeless people become homeless. They set that up. And then they get the homeless people needles and they turn them into drug addicts. And then they come back and tell us, we need more program for drug addicts. And let's put it on the bill. Let's vote for it. And the people vote for it. You pay more taxes. And then they say, too many black people going to jail, so we need to cut back on bail bond. And so, and the people voted to cut the bail bond so that if you commit a crime, you don't have to go to jail. You can stay in your neighborhood. I remember when we fought against that up in Sacramento. They voted to cut out bail bond and let all the people out of prison, and you don't have to worry about it. Isn't that like crazy? But I didn't vote for it, but other people voted for it. Because they're like, oh, that's not fair. And the people go, yeah, that's not fair. And they voted for it. Then they said, no police. No more police. Okay, we're going to let you all out of prison, out of jail, and then we're going to take the police away. And then the people heard that, they went crazy with crime. And then the government said, oh, it's your fault. You gotta put cameras on your building now. You gotta do this and do that. You have to pay for that, but you voted no police. Just think about somebody was crazy enough to vote no police. Just think about that. How can someone, it's like, how can someone convince you to vote no police? And the people gone crazy. But we voted for that. I didn't vote for it, but you did. And then they tell you that we need to get rid of all the qualified people who know what they're doing, who have time, and they have experience under their belt, people that make sure things work. And they say, we need to get rid of that. That's not fair. We need DEI. We need to hire you based on your color, your sex, and whatever crazy thing they said. But not qualified people. How would things work if you don't have qualified people? They got rid of all the men who, not all of them, but especially white men who qualify for the fire department. Now they got a bunch of people that don't know what they're doing. The fat lesbian said, that's supposed to be one of the leaders of the fire thing. She said, they said women can't, something like, I don't know. They said women can't carry a person out of a fire. First of all, you're in the wrong place anyway. Something like that, right? The fire chief said that. Oh, one of the fire leaders. Do I know?
That blew my mind when I thought it was a Saturday Night Live skit or something. I didn't.
Yeah.
I kept doing research to make sure that wasn't fake, but she actually did. She actually said that you were in a bad spot in the first place. Basically blaming you.
She's blaming you for being in the fire. And you're paying her to come and get you out the fire. Ain't no way she's going to get up the ladder anyway, so you ain't got to worry. Jump out the window when she's coming. But it's like swimming at the beach, and they have these swimming people watching those lifeguard people, and the lifeguard person is supposed to run out there and save you, right? If you're drowning. But the lifeguard's just sitting there looking at you, you're in the wrong place anyway. And now that we have this fire, they hold press conferences. These people, one thing I want to tell you that I found out, and you probably have too, is that they tell us they need all this money for programs, and what you find out later, they're making $200,000 and $300,000 a year. The money goes to them under the umbrella of salaries, but the jobs are not getting done. It's just they're making more money. So it's all for them. It's not for us. Isn't that crazy? They making buku money. Yes, sir.
the homeless support systems are the best example of that because, and you can look this up, it's like a pretty well-known conspiracy that all these low-income housing nonprofits, they take hundreds of millions of dollars, buy an apartment complex that's worth tons, turn it into low-income housing for 10 years, and then they hire themselves as private real estate investors for the same building that they now own, that you paid for.
What a mess, huh? But that's human nature. That's all human nature until we overcome it. Let me take you a remedy, then I come to you. And then they tell you, so I'm looking at these press conferences with all the losers. The mayor, the governor, the fire chiefs, the police. These are the same people that said that we're not going to work with the new government to get the illegal out of your country. We're going to put up a barrier to work against you for the illegal. That's about them too. They want the vote. They don't care about us about that. And we voted the same people every time. And then your place burned down. They come and hold a press conference. They tell you to be vigilant. They're telling you, okay, your house burned down because we didn't do our job for you, but you be vigilant. How that word? Vigilant. Vigilant. Make you want to cuss. I understand. It makes you want to cuss. Your house burned down, their houses are safe, and they tell you to be vigilant. And then they tell the criminal, because there were people looting the area, they try to talk big on the camera. You better not come up here. You better not be caught looting. You're gonna pay a price. But they took away all the police so you can loot. Yeah. They took away bail's bond and all the things that make you to punish you for committing a crime, and they try to act tough. But they made that possible too, so you can loot. Isn't that like human nature is evil? Yes.
I wanted to add a thought. So I feel like the political world, corporate America, families are no different. There's always
It's the same thing.
It's always somebody, a person of power, selling you a speech to make you feel something,
Yeah.
to give you a false sense of hope, and continue with the group thinking.
Absolutely.
Because you're saying, how do people vote for no police because they feel a sense of guilt for voting pro-police? They're made to think that way because if you think different, then you're wrong. You cannot be a free thinker. You must follow the crowd.
Good point.
And it's the same way mama or anybody who's wicked gets you, through guilt, through feelings, through emotions.
Yep.
And they continue to put you through this possessive life where you can never think on your own. And
then they come back and then with the fire, they're telling people, oh, you need to donate. Donate at this place and donate at this place. And then when people do donate, they're like, oh, you're so brave, you're so nice, you're like, they're stroking you again. They're trying to make you feel good about donating when they're the one caused the problem, and now they're telling you to donate. Where all the money we've already spent? Buy some food with that money. It's crazy, but the people fall for it because they've been stroked again. And then they call you hero.
right.
Oh, we have look at the fire people going up the mountain to put. I saw this yesterday. Look at the fire people going up the mountain to put out the fire. These are our heroes. And the people give an award to them, and they feel like heroes, but they're not heroes. They're doing their job. They're going up the mountain to put the fire out because we paid them to do that. If you're going to be a hero, don't get paid. Go up the mountain without getting a paycheck and put your own life, and then we'll call you a hero. You ain't no hero, you're getting paid. Just like it would be me telling Hake he's a hero for doing his show every day. But he
is
gets
a hero.
paid. He ain't no hero.
One other thing I just wanted
He
to
doesn't
add.
do it free. Yes.
Just to add, I mean, I don't know too much. I know we're at church, and I don't want to throw too much conspiracies.
Too
but
late.
I feel like We have the Olympics coming up. We have FIFA coming up. We have a lot coming up that are supposed to be in town. So I feel like this is a cleanup project to clean up certain aspects to create for those huge funding programs or events that we're going to have. So there's going to be a big tons of crowd coming in for the World Cup, for the Olympics. There's a lot coming up in this city.
Yeah, that's a conspiracy.
Yes.
I don't know, you may be onto something.
The first thing you said, I agreed 100%. About mama, the ego, how this all ties in. Just so that we don't water down the first part of what you said, that first part, I couldn't agree more about the ego and how we're vulnerable because of our own egos.
Yeah, absolutely. The people are blind. Blind, blind, blind. It's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. I wouldn't be surprised what these people up to, man, to be honest with you. It sounds like it could be a little off, but it could be quite possible with this government we have. Really, it could be possible. What a mad, mad world we live in. Any questions or anything? Oh, yeah, Raymond.
About the disaster we're having. Some say it's divine retribution, others say it's corruption. But personally, I think it's nothing but apathy because we're so used to the horsemen near we're giving we just giving up and let everybody lead us through the nose like a pig through a sty.
Amazing.
I've been living in this city long enough to know that there'll be enormous catastrophes like fires and earthquakes. But it's how we as people should deal with it, and we're not dealing with it properly.
Well, we have a government that's not working for us. We didn't know how bad it was with the water situation. And even though we heard about it, I didn't know they were putting all the water into the ocean. And we have no water to put out a fire, no water in the fire hose or anything. I didn't know that. Who would think that your government would do something stupid like that? I knew they were trying to save a stupid fish that nobody liked. But I had no idea they were taking this far. Zero. I saw, yes.
The Bible says we fight not against flesh and blood, but principalities and powers in high places.
Yes.
And I think it's an example of the evil within all of us, just in high places, because
It's the same spirit.
within people. Also, I live in the hood, and the night that the fires were like really raging, there was an accident on the corner where I live, and someone hit a fire hydrant. Water was everywhere. It was so much water. Just, if you ever seen a fire hydrant get hit, the water is just
Right.
shooting out everywhere.
And they had a lot of water.
But I
And
think
they
it's,
didn't even need it.
yeah, right, just shooting out everywhere. And I'm looking at this like, oh, there's no water in the Palisades. It doesn't make sense. So many things don't make sense. And when Randy said conspiracy, one of the things he said is a project, and I also believe, it's just my opinion, it matters not to anyone, not even me really, but it does sound like a project, like something that has been organized to happen, because it just doesn't make sense. But that's just my opinion.
Okay.
But it
Amazing.
also gives the fact that it's just another confirmation that we all should be looking within and working on ourselves so that we don't fall into the thoughts and the evil spirits that are working in high places.
Yeah. People need to wake up. What a mess. Any other questions or comments about that? Yes, sir.
I just wanted to add that from the outside, first time I visited California was in 2008, and there was fire. Every time there was fire when I visited since. So you could say the insurance company must know that it's coming every year. People insure their houses. Somebody knows what's going on, and whose fault is it?
But what I'm hearing is that the government has passed rules where the government, Well, the insurance companies are restricted as to what they can do. You know, they can't raise the prices, they can't do this and do that. And so a lot of insurance companies don't even bother to sell insurance here anymore.
They don't insure the houses from fire?
So something, I'm not clear how that is, but they don't want sell fire insurance, especially in certain areas.
So they,
Because the government
It's
is so
crazy.
restricted with with their thing,
so that's,
with the insurance company.
like you say, whose fault is it?
The government and the people.
If it goes like 20 years already, it's also the people, yeah? It has to be also the people. You can
Yeah,
say
the
the
people,
government,
too.
he's right about being apathic, yeah?
Yeah. What a mess. Okay. Any question, anybody? Let's do the biblical question, because I got some stuff I want to share with you. Anybody paying attention to the biblical question this week? Okay. What was the biblical question this week?
Do you live from the mind or from the spirit?
Yes. And you say?
I've been living in the mind, and living in the flesh, and so, yeah, and it makes a lot of sense of why I experienced turmoil.
Because
'Cause
you're living from your
the
mind?
yeah, and
Oh, okay.
like kind of what a fellow over here was talking about, you know, when you watch the news and like and you know, and judging certain things, you know, and you're in the intellect, and you know, and it's just that's why I understand. Like, man, I wonder why I'm raging or I'm in this heat, you know.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you're living from your mind.
Yeah, and I don't want to anymore now.
And why don't you stop?
Well, yeah, I think I wasn't ever being honest about myself of how much I love to burn. And so I've been duping myself, not realizing I've been duping myself. So now I'm like, oh, wow. Like, yeah, I've been duping myself. So now I'm like, oh, I'm tired of duping myself. But then I'm just making those judgments again and being in my mind again. So, so
Right
it's-
on.
yeah.
Okay. Are you living from your mind or from your spirit?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
I'm not sure. What does it mean to live from your mind?
Oh, okay. You're not sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Leave it blank there for now. I want to talk to some other people and come back to that.
Okay.
Are you living from your mind or from your spirit?
I'm definitely living from my mind.
And for those who don't understand what that means, what do you mean by that?
It means that you guys talk so caught up in the what ifs, in the events that haven't even happened yet, and you're already thinking. At least for me, I think always the worst. You know, and I've been almost a year with you, and I'm still battling that.
And why?
Because I love my hell.
Yeah.
You know, and I never understood exactly what you meant by that, but now I'm like, oh yeah, Justy's right.
Did you know she loved her hell?
Oh yeah.
Amazing.
Oh yeah.
How did you know that part, that she loved her hell? Well, how you became aware of that? How did you become
That she loves her own hell
Yeah,
because she keeps tripping on the same stone.
yeah.
Yeah. And I observe her actions and her thoughts, and they don't often correlate, or the way she behaves is based on certain actions. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. Why do you love your hell? And you know you love your hell. Why do you love it?
I didn't know I loved my health that much. But now I'm starting to realize it and how I'm actually being the cause of everything burning around me.
Absolutely. It's
So,
totally you.
oh, it's all me. And it's a hard pill to swallow.
And why?
Because you don't want to be the cause of your own life being on fire.
Yeah.
You know?
rather blame others?
It's easier.
Sure is.
It's easier. But now, you know, he gave me a hard reality where it's me.
Right on.
You know, and so did my daughter.
Right on.
So
How do you see yourself?
how do I see myself?
Yes.
I see myself broken.
Meaning what?
Meaning that because I've been through, I have so much trauma and just so many, just been through so much, and that I'm just so now a negative filter in me that it kind of feels like I'm like a broken toy, like, that just wants to work but can't.
And so you see yourself as broken because you've been through so much trauma. But why don't you let the trauma just go?
That's what I'm working on now.
And how are you working on it now?
Now, because I'm starting to realize that I'm the cause.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can.
Sorry.
I understand. You're unconscious when you talk. I understand
Yeah.
it. So now that you know that, why don't you just stop?
I don't know how to just stop.
You don't? Oh, okay. If you knew how, would you do it?
Yes.
If you knew how to do it, you would just stop. Amazing. Who are you?
Who am I?
Yes.
Somebody that's trying to get out of their hell.
I'm sorry?
Somebody that's trying to get out of their hell.
And who is that that's trying to get out of their hell?
Me, myself.
And who are you?
Jessica.
Jessica? That's your name? Your name is Jessica? What a nice name.
Thank you.
At least you did something right. No. So you're Jessica, and who else?
A mom,
A mother, and who else?
a daughter, a girlfriend, a friend.
Are you a good girlfriend?
Could be better.
Are you a good girlfriend?
No.
So you're a bad girlfriend? Are you a good mom?
No.
Bad mom. Are you a good Jessica?
Probably not.
A bad Jessica. What the? So far, you haven't told me who you are. You told me your name, that you're a mother, you have a boyfriend, but you still didn't tell me who you are.
So maybe it's time that I find myself.
I'm sorry?
Or maybe it's time that I find out who I am.
Why did you say those things were you?
Because in my head, I think that those things make me who I am.
In your head? And who is telling you that in your head?
Myself, probably, yeah.
And who is yourself that's telling you that?
Now I don't know. I don't know who.
Would you ever tell yourself things that make you feel the way you feel? The bad things?
Yes.
You would tell yourself those things?
Oh, yeah.
And why would you tell yourself things that make you feel bad?
Because I love my hell. Now, realizing now that that's what it was.
And do you tell yourself things that make you feel good?
Not as often as I should, no.
And why not?
Because now I realize that being angry and sad is easier than being happy. It's, yeah. I'm working on it.
So when you tell yourself all these things, you deliberately tell yourself the things that make you feel bad because you like being miserable?
Because it's the normal for me.
And if you told yourself something good, what would you say to yourself?
I can't even tell you.
Not one good thing?
Probably, yeah, no, I can't.
And so when you're talking to you talking to this person or you talking to this person? Or how you talk to you? Are there two people?
Two people?
Uh-huh.
No.
So who's talking to who? Who's talking to whom?
My thoughts probably are talking to myself or
Are
talking
you-
to me.
So what now?
I said my thoughts are the ones,
And are you your thoughts?
yes.
You are your thoughts.
Am I my, oh, am I? No.
You're
Now
not-
I'm learning no.
And so those thoughts are talking to who?
To me.
And so why you say you talking to you? Why don't you say my thoughts are talking to me?
Oh, okay, my thoughts, yeah.
No, I'm asking why don't you do that?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Because you told me you were talking to you.
Because I believe my thoughts are myself.
Oh, okay. But now you see, is your thoughts telling you these bad things about you?
Yeah.
Why do you will you stop believing them?
I want to, yeah. I want to.
Why don't you
Why don't you just stop? Why don't I just
clearly
stop?
see that it's not you telling you that, it's the thoughts? Right now, you see that right now?
I see it, yeah.
So why don't you just stop?
I don't know. I don't know why.
Can you stop right now listening to that since you know it's not you?
Right now, yes. But then I'll go home and, something will happen and it'll just, my thoughts will get in me again. And I'm just like, but I know I don't want to listen to it. And sometimes I'm good. I won't, but there's other times where, it's that one time that I let my thoughts get to me.
Yeah.
And it just causes, it's like a domino effect after
And
that.
why don't you catch them when they do that, realize, oh, I'm in a thought?
That's what I'm working on right now.
Right now or before right now?
I've been working on that for a while.
And so can you stop calling, will you stop calling the thoughts you, now that you know they're not you?
Yes.
And will you stop calling yourself a mom, knowing you're not a mom? It's just what you do, but it's not who you are. And Jessica is your name, but that's not who you are either. And you have a boyfriend, but it's just a boyfriend, it's not who you are. Does that make sense a little bit?
No, it makes sense, yeah.
So can you stop identifying with those things too?
Yes.
Because you got all these false identities, and you're not free from that. And that's what you suffer from, the false identities. You're none of those things at all. The baby that you had is not even your baby. It belonged to God, or she belonged to God. She's not even yours. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Oh, yeah, that I agree, 100%.
Can you let her go?
Yeah, I could let her go.
You can let her go?
Yeah.
Meaning that I don't mean put her out of the house and all that. Don't let her run wild. But don't hold on to her where you get your identity from that.
Okay.
I saw this movie, a true story, according to the movie, where this Japanese, is that China where you can only have one child?
It was.
So this Chinese lady secretly had a second child, and she made that child her everything. And so what happened was she was able to put the child into Europe, allow the child somewhere to go and live in. So the child became un-Chinese nice. Became but the child was everything to the mother. And so the mother, the boy got engaged, became engaged, and so he wanted his mother to come visit them and be there when the lady had the baby and everything. And the mother went to visit, and because the mother loved the child, not real love, but mama love, she became jealous of the fiance. To the point, she made the fiance call her mother, because the fiance said, thank you. One day the fiance said, thank you. She's like, don't say, call me mother. She's like, oh man, call me mother. And the boy was too weak to tell her, shut up. And so the wife had to end up calling her mother. And she hated the mother so much. When the baby came, she kept the baby away from the mother. Every time the mother tried to get up and take care of the baby, the stepmother, what do you call those people? The mother-in-law, grandmother, mother-in-law would step in and keep the mother from her own child. And so the boy got mad and said, you gotta go. You can't stay here, you gotta move out. And the boy made the mother move out, her son move out. Long story short, when the mother moved out, she wasn't able to control the family. So she called the son up one day, oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I would never do it. I miss you. I want to be a part of your life. And he let the mother come back. When they're crying, they're lying. She was not sorry. So she went back, and when she went back, she ended up taking a hammer one day, long story short, and killed the daughter-in-law. She just called her the B word. The son was at work, and she took a hammer and walked up behind the daughter because she wanted it. Oh, what she had tried to do was get the son to leave the daughter, and they were going to bring in a housekeeper from China, and the housekeeper was going to pay $500,000 to let them help her move it to Europe, right? And so the husband said, no, I'm not doing that. She said that in front of the daughter-in-law. Let's get rid of the daughter-in-law, right? And she ended up killing the daughter-in-law because she wanted just to be her son and the baby. So don't own her. You don't own her. All right? So let that identity go too, and you will become the best mother.
Okay.
Because you won't own her. It won't be yours. So how have you been dealing with the crazy lady? You the boyfriend, how's that going?
I just let her burn her hell.
Right on. And it doesn't irritate you or anything?
It used to, and now I just watch it like
Right on.
like if it's TV.
How do you feel when he just let you burn it? You carrying on, he doesn't care. How do you feel about that?
It's like fuel on fire more. It's like
And the devil's like, he don't love you.
yeah.
He doesn't care about your pain. Here I am miserable. Look at him. He over there like, go slap him. Right? Yeah. You got to stop that. Let her have the mic back. Right? The devil talk to you that way too, right?
Yeah.
So is that you talking to you or that evil spirit's talking to you?
It's the devil.
But you, at the time, you think it's you? That's crazy, huh?
That's crazy, yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. Any question about that now?
No.
All right. Drop the thought so you can be free. And you can do that right now if you wanted to. So how you deal with your mother and all her mess? How old are you?
I'm okay.
So what?
It's okay. I'm okay.
It's okay?
Yeah.
It doesn't get to you?
No, not really.
You wish you would stop?
Yeah.
Yeah, and when you tell her to stop, how old are you?
12.
12. When you tell her to stop, what does she do?
What do
You can't hurt her feeling, don't worry about that. What does she do when you say, Mom, stop?
Sometimes she listens, sometimes she doesn't.
Do you have, and so can you go to the boyfriend and say, help me deal with her? She's crazy? Do you have,
Sometimes.
do you have help dealing with her?
No.
Oh, don't let her drive you crazy.
She's not.
Okay. And the way to prevent her from driving you crazy, don't be angry. You speak up, but don't be angry. That way you won't become like her. All right, that makes sense? Amazing, huh? Nice. Let's go back to the biblical question. Who else for me? Did you have your hand? Me. Randy?
Oh, yeah, I did.
And what's the biblical question?
Are you living from the spirit or from the mind?
And you say?
I believe I'm living from the mind. Living from the mind.
And why do you believe that?
Because I know I'm possessed. I know that there's something driving my emotions, my actions, the words that I speak, the way that I move. I know there's something in there telling me what to do, telling me what people are thinking of me. There's people looking at me. What are they thinking of me? I'm thinking what they're thinking of me. And there's so much going on that there's no off button. Even when I'm asleep, I probably won't sleep sometimes, or I have a hard time falling asleep. And then when I wake up, like I haven't even opened my eyes yet, and boom, like I already feel the attack.
Yeah.
So I know I'm living from the mind. It seems like there's like a core spirit within me. I know the spirit's there, but there's something around it, like thorns on roses, just around it, attacking it. So if I move the slightest, I get poked.
So why don't you stop?
I can't stop it on my own, but I am aware of it. So I see it, and I'm noticing myself not reacting to it as much.
So because of time, tell me what you do when you become aware. What does that mean to you? I'm aware of it. Because this year is theme for this year, practice being present. Did you know about that?
Yes.
You weren't here last week.
Yeah, I'm aware of
Practice
it.
being present. What does it mean about you watching it, whatever you said?
What I start to do is when I start feeling pain, internal pain, I'll catch myself, I'll stop, and I'll allow the pain to sit, and I let that sucker burn.
Yeah.
I even say, let's go. I even tell myself, okay, let's go to hell. And I remember you said several times, if you want to go to heaven, you got to go to hell. You got to go under to go up.
Isn't it amazing? You're not going to get to heaven until you go through hell. You got to go through hell. How many times?
70
you have
times
to go
7.
through hell? He asked how many times? You have to go through hell until you in heaven. There's no way around it. That's so crazy to me, but it makes sense now. You are not going to, and everybody tries to avoid hell. That's why you can't get to heaven. There's just some God that put heaven on the other side of hell. Like, what were he thinking? We all expect to get in heaven right here. Not have to go to hell to get to heaven. But you're not going to get to heaven until you go through hell. But go ahead.
Everything you say, like I take it to heart. I go home and I do the homework. I watch the movies you recommend. And one thing that I've learned is through like the many different teachings that the devil hates God. The devil wants to hurt God, but he can't hurt God because God. You can't touch him.
Can't touch God.
But God, the devil will attack what God loves, and God loves us.
Yeah.
So I noticed
Absolutely,
that,
man.
especially in my position, being a father, being a husband, whatever, when I see my children hurting, I know that something's hurting within them. And instead of attacking the problem, like for example, my son, if he'll come home and say, oh, I was treated unfairly, and I'll always stop and say, okay, well, how did you respond? What did you do? Don't worry about anybody else.
Absolutely.
They're irrelevant. You can't control me. I can't control you. So you can only control yourself. So my advice to him is watch what you're doing. Be aware of how you respond to other people. And don't allow that to burn within you.
Very perfect advice. Because there's no him to be treated unfairly.
Right.
He just think he is this and he doesn't. He doesn't. That's amazing. And so are you able to catch the thoughts at any time before you feel the pain from them?
I think I'm getting better at it, but not all the time. There are times when I catch myself going off on a tangent and maybe I'm like 10 steps in or whatever, and then I'm like, okay, wait a second, let me just stop. But one thing that you also say is when you catch yourself, don't judge it, because when you catch yourself, oh, see, the God doesn't love you now because look how far you've gone.
Right.
You're deep in the rabbit hole. You're listening to me again. You might as well stay here. So I just stop, and then that's another abuse from the devil. Kind of like we were talking about politics, and the government makes you feel bad. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel guilty, and then it makes you feel like responsible, and it's a bunch of BS. Make you want to curse.
It's amazing to me how the politicians lie to us. They all just outright lie to us. And then come on camera and just lie some more. I mean, they're looking right at us, and we're looking at them lying, and they just lie. But they know something wrong. It's like what you were saying. It's a spirit thing. They know we're crazy too. So they just lie. But anyway.
And one other thing I'll say, that way other people can speak. The other day, my dad came. We were having ice cream, and he came over, and I was talking to him. And he's older. I mean, he's not that old, right? But he's older. I know he's getting close to retirement, and I'm letting him know, like, hey, I'm willing to help you if you accept my help, but I'm gonna help you my way. And I can see my dad in his head just being fearful. I can see the fear in his eyes. Yeah. And instead of judging him, I kind of just, I don't want to say sympathize, but I'm aware of the pain within him, and the old me would feel the pain with him. And then I would feel guilty for not feeling the pain for him. And then it made me want to react in a certain way. Yeah. And I just saw him say, Dad, I'm willing to help you. Here's my help. Take it or leave it. That's it. And I walked away.
Right on, man. Nice. Are you? Last time you were here, you were a beta husband, right, or something?
Super beta.
Yeah.
Mess.
Are you overcoming being a beta husband?
Yes.
And how has that changed for you?
It's changing all for the better. I can see it in the family. Like I've said it several times, the man will lead the family to hell or heaven no matter what. If you're absent, you're going to lead the family to hell by not taking control of the wheel. If you're present but you let the wife dominate or you let your children dominate, then again you're driving them to hell. But now that I'm aware of it and I'm present, I can see everything around me, and it's almost like I'm physically there, but there's a spirit above that's watching everything play.
How's your wife dealing with you overcoming being a beta? How is she handling that?
I don't know. I think you can ask her, but in my eyes, I think I can see the
You're
difference
being
in her.
beta right now.
I am being
I
beta.
ask you. What's
Mess.
The husband always asks the wife.
She says she's doing okay. No, I'm playing.
But
from my eyes, I could see that there's immediate resistance. And again, I remember you saying that when you become the husband, your wife becomes your daughter in a sense, right, quote unquote. And I can see that. So it's like, you know, a little girl, you tell her, hey, you can't do this, and no, I'm not do it anyway. And you got to sit there and say, well, I mean, I'm going to take the pain because I'm in charge here. It's kind of like life. When things are going bad, what's the first thing atheists say? Well, if God loved us so much, why do these things happen?
Right.
The wife does the same thing to the husband. If you love me so much, why is this happening?
So, like, when she overreact or whatever she does when you're standing strong about something, do you feel fear? How do you feel when it happens to you?
I still feel the fear. I still feel the pain. And I still feel like I need to react and do something. But now, if she blows up, I just I let it blow up. And then I let it happen, and then I let the Eaton fire burn, and then it calms down, and then I'm in there with a glass of water.
Right on, man. Oh, good. And stay there. You let that grow. She needs you to be that way.
Right.
How are you handling that he doesn't let you control him all the time now, or he doesn't cater to you? Because you look like you one of those tough ones. One of those educated ones. Now, you're fortunate that your wife is working on herself. If she wasn't working on herself, it would be even worse.
You
But go ahead.
Deep down, when at that moment, I get angry. But he does let me sit in my hell. And while I'm sitting in it, I'm so grateful because I'm like, okay, that's honestly what my thoughts are like. Okay, that's the man I actually want. That's the man I need.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful. I really am grateful because it's not just with him, but it's with the kids also. And he stops me a lot from doing certain things, or he'll not stop me, but he'll tell me like, hey, what you're doing is wrong, X, Y, and Z. And he'll just leave me there. And I'm like, wait, what? And and I'll sit there and I do hate it. But I love it. I love it more than I hate. I hate it at that moment because my thoughts are like taking over.
Yeah.
But I know deep down I love it because it's like that's exactly what I need.
Yes.
I need him to lead me. I need him to correct me. I need him to tell me, hey, you're messing up. Stop. So it's helped a lot. It really has helped. I know we had a little chat a couple months ago and you told me to stay present, and that's helped a lot also.
Right on.
I know there's times still, just like yesterday with Zeke, where I lost my cool, and it did take me a while to understand, but I came back to him and I'm like, I messed up. I'm sorry.
Right on.
You know, but it's him talking to me a lot and correcting me. Not necessarily like correcting and sitting me like a little girl, but just telling me like, hey, you're messing up. Check yourself has helped a lot. And staying present has helped even more.
I recommend that you really, really stop losing your cool with the kids. Because kids can only take so much, I'm sorry. Because they expect more from the parents. They expect the parents to be right.
Yeah.
You know, they expect you to be right. But if you keep saying, I'm sorry, after a while, they're going to get angry and it's not going to mean anything to them. Because, they can't help it. It's something to the parent.
Yeah.
So try all you have not to go off, whatever.
Yeah,
go
yeah.
off another. But you got to be absolutely patient with the kids.
Honestly, I think I've done a lot better. I'm not a big person to apologize because I feel like my actions will speak more than my apologies.
Right.
So I think this was it was probably a first from a very long time that I actually had to come and apologize to him. because I did cross certain boundaries, well, a lot of boundaries.
Right.
Even with him. And I'm reading a book even for myself to help me how to communicate with him and to have that respect because he is a young man. And
But if you don't drop your anger, the book is not going to help you.
I know, yeah.
Really, you got to drop the anger because you should read the book if you want, but you can read the book. You can listen to this talk. You can read the book until the cows come home. But if your nature don't change, reading the book is just a waste of time.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to drop the anger. Are you living from your mind or from your spirit?
After that chat we had, I felt like I was living from the spirit and I never really paid attention to it. It was just like I just let things go, and I would feel these feelings, and I would see these thoughts, and I would just sit in it, and I would burn, like physically burn, and I would just sit there, and I don't know why. Just like the last couple days, I feel like I've been living through my mind, and I can tell, yeah, and I can see the difference because then I had no care in the world almost. It was just kind of like I was just living. And when I'm living through the mind, I have all these ridiculous thoughts just inundating me and like suffocating me almost. It's worse than actually sitting and burning through me looking at these feelings and looking at the thoughts and then living it. I can see it.
Right on. Okay.
Yeah.
What a mess, huh?
It is. It really is.
What a mess. We're in a mess. You look pretty.
Thank you.
You look like that woman. You went to Mexico, huh?
I did go to Mexico, yeah.
Oh, so you came back looking like your people.
Hola.
Yeah.
Did I? Do I look Mexican to you?
You look pretty Mexican, though.
Oh, thank you.
You look like that woman. What's the name of that woman with the... Yeah, you look like J-Lo.
J-Lo? Girl. I don't know about all that. Why
Come and do
her?
a song.
No.
Are you J-Lo?
I don't like J.
You don't like J-Lo?
I don't like J-Lo.
Why not?
No, you could say Selena.
What?
Selena.
You rather look like
Yes,
Selena than
she
J-Lo?
did. She did. Yeah. I don't like
But
J-Lo.
J-Lo got the most money. Selena did.
Yeah, she did. That's true. She is it. But Selena, what J-Lo is crazy. She's been married like 10 times.
Wow.
Exactly. Trying to stay away from that.
She been married 10 times for real?
I don't know how many times. But
Oh.
Too many.
6 times?
Way too many.
Whoa.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, you're not her.
Thank
you just look like her.
Oh, okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
What a mess. You look fresh. You look like you've been relaxing. Yeah. Did you have your hair? Are you living from your mind or your...
Mind.
Or
Spirit, right?
you live from the mind?
Yeah.
And how do you know you're living from the mind?
Because usually I think about things and my thoughts, like, I think someone else said, like, their thoughts make them do their actions they do.
Yeah.
Same with me. I think about something and I find it like my thoughts are driving me to do whatever I'm doing. And instead of going through that hell, like I'm trying to build my Babylon tower to like force my way up to heaven. But every time I build it, obviously God, puts his finger on it and it breaks down. I build it again. I do the same thing.
Why don't you stop?
I don't want to go through hell to get there.
Oh, you don't want to go through hell?
No.
So why even try to work on it on yourself if you don't want to go through hell, because there's no way around it? Why are you working on yourself if you don't want to go through hell?
Well, I'm afraid if I go through hell that I'll end up loving the hell and I'll stay there. I'll be tempted to stay there.
But you're already in the hell and you're already loving the hell.
But I'm resisting it.
How is that?
Like I'm not fully giving in to my dark, evil self, or my not self, I guess.
And when you say I'm afraid to go through the hell, what is going through hell? What does that mean to you?
Going through hell, I don't even know. I probably leaving, going to the wilderness like John and Jesus did, following them, away from everyone and everything.
So you don't know what it means to go through hell?
It depends. I've been through dark places. I don't know it could get worse than the dark that it's been. I've seen it. I've seen like dreams of places that are really dark, but like in reality, I also see the uncomfortableness, the anxiety, the thoughts and all that, and the ego. So that mixed with like the spiritual realm, I guess.
Oh, okay.
There must be some hell there. Yeah.
Interesting. The young lady want to respond. What does it mean? What do I mean when I say heaven is on the other side of hell? So you got to go through hell to get to heaven. What does that mean to you?
It means to recognize what's driving you inside and doing nothing about it.
Can you give me an example?
An example would be like if typically I would want to give someone a piece of my mind over something.
Yeah.
And realizing that urge to do that is just an evil spirit present. When that urge comes, just to observe without taking action of what I would want to do.
Very good example.
Yeah.
Very good example.
So it's what you want to do, but you don't do anything about it.
Yes.
And just recognize it's not you.
Right on. Nice. That makes sense to you?
It does.
Oh, okay. It does. Nice. Are you living from your mind or from your spirit?
Uh, 90% mind and 10% spirit.
And why not stop?
Why don't I stop, or why?
Why don't you just stop?
I don't know how.
You don't know how to stop living from your mind?
No.
Oh, okay.
Every time I come close, then like the fire start, or there's something new.
Then the fire started?
That's just
Did
an
you say
example.
that?
Yeah, that's an example of something that, like, when these things started, that activated the mind.
Oh, I see.
Right, and
Oh,
that
okay.
that, but it did. I mean, if there's anything encouraging about it, it did make. Let's just say it was 10 years ago. I wouldn't have even have thought that maybe I should control my anger. Maybe I should be aware of it. Maybe I should be aware of the way I'm feeling.
Yeah.
So there's at least that I immediately thought, okay, here's where you're gonna go down. You're gonna go down a rabbit hole, and you're also gonna be susceptible to snapping on. That's the worst, is when you're a little bit irritated. Somebody catches you sideways, and then you react.
Right.
I really don't want to do that.
So you said that you're like 90% from mind, right?
Yeah.
And then the rest is, I mean, you're 90% from your mind, right?
Right.
And then the rest of the time you're living from your spirit?
Yeah, that minimal 10%, yeah.
So how do you know how to live from your spirit 10% but not 90%?
I don't. I'm just throwing out a rough estimate.
Oh, you just threw out a number?
I mean, I could have no way of measuring it, but I'm.
Are you living from your spirit at all?
Yeah.
And how do you know how to do that?
I don't know how to do it.
And how do you?
I just noticed, I wasn't in my head.
Oh. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right.
And then I'll come back to it. It does make sense.
Okay.
But the young lady wanted to tell you, in the back, yeah. Are you living from your mind or from your spirit?
I think when I think of the question, my understanding of the question is my mind governed by Holy Spirit or my flesh? That's how I'm interpreting the question.
What? You totally in your mind.
So I don't know. That's kind of how I'm understanding the question.
Are you living from your mind or your spirit? Or from your spirit?
I guess I'd want to understand the question more.
Who told you, oh, he meant, are you living from the Holy Spirit and the Holy Spirit control the mind? Who told you that? That's maybe what I meant. Who told you that?
I think when I thought of the question, that's what came to me as I wrestled with the question.
And where did you get the thought from that, about that question from?
I feel like Holy Spirit.
What?
Holy Spirit.
The Holy Spirit told you that?
Mm-hmm.
The Holy Spirit don't lie. What the? So you think the Holy Spirit is confusing?
No, I don't.
But why do you think he told you that?
Because in my wrestling with the question, I was trying to understand the question.
Oh.
And I was seeking understanding of
I got you.
what
Don't
that, what
wrestle with
I was
any-
seeking where to feel led in the question. And when I was trying to understand and feel, when I was led, that's what kind of,
Right.
where I was led.
Do you believe that you the answers to your questions are in your mind?
Like, are they living in my mind? I don't know.
So what now?
Can I, I think the answers to my questions.
Yes. Are they
I guess
in
it
your
depends on the
mind?
question. I think it depends on the question.
It depends on the question?
Mm-hmm.
Are there any answer to the truth in your mind?
It's a good question. Are there
See?
any answer?
That came from the Holy Spirit.
Are there any, say the question one more time. Are there any answers to my question, or any answers to the truth
Yeah, in your mind.
in my mind?
Yes.
Yes.
Like what, for example?
I think when I think of my identity, when I think of
And who are
what
you?
is true,
Who, you believe your mind can tell you the truth about your identity?
I think my mind recalls what is true, which the truth is found in the scriptures. And so I think that's why it's important for me to wrestle with and to remind myself and be impressed upon my heart of the truth of the scriptures. And so when I think of my identity and my question of like, who am I can recall that I was made in the image of God because of that. That's in the
That is
scriptures.
so interesting.
That's
And
how I
who,
think of it.
when you say your identity, who are you? According to your mind, according to the scriptures, to your mind, who are you?
I think there's a lot of things that I am. And it's I think according to my mind, there's a lot of truth and untruth of who I am. I think according to...
Is this your first time here?
Yeah.
This your first time here?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah? What's
Yeah.
your name?
My name is Janelle.
Janelle?
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you so
How
much.
did you find us?
I'm here with my friend. She's
Oh,
been coming.
Nice.
She invited me.
And
Yeah.
so, who are you?
I'm a lot of things.
Like what?
I think if I think of like who I am in my mind, I think my identity is, when I think of the untruth of my identity, I can think that I'm unworthy.
what?
That I'm a person that's unworthy.
Unworthy?
I can think that I'm less
Can
than.
you guys come and sit here for me?
Sit where?
Right here. Do you mind?
No, not at all.
Right here. These two seats are available. That way you can sit together.
Okay.
That way I can hear you and
Okay.
you won't be nervous. And,
Okay, no
Are you
problem.
nervous?
I feel vulnerable.
Vulnerable?
Yeah.
And why you feel so vulnerable in here?
You're asking me questions about myself, and
Oh.
I think that that is a vulnerable place to be.
Nice.
I don't know anyone here. I came here with no expectation. I've never been in this space. This is a new space for me.
Right on. Well, don't worry. Nobody likes you, and you don't like nobody here.
That's okay.
So you're in a vulnerable place.
Very,
So
very.
who are you?
I am, so in my mind, like I said, I think the broken parts of my identity are that I am unworthy, that I am, am anxious.
You what?
I am anxious and afraid. I am someone who fears being loved and doubts love. I think I am, someone who's grieved and grieving. Someone who a seeker, trying to understand. I am a woman. I am just a lot of things. I think that's in my mind, and then the broken parts of my identity. I think, recalling the truth of who I am. I know that I am precious and honored in God's sight. I know that I am chosen. I know I'm made in the image of the Almighty.
Did you say you know you are a woman?
Say that again?
Did you say you know you're a woman?
I know that I'm a woman? Yeah.
You did say that, right?
I did.
You forgot to say, and hear me roar.
Okay. That's funny.
Where are you getting all those ideas that's who you are? Those are who you
I think the broken parts of my identity, a lot of it comes from my, there's a lot of places, right? So I think the experiences of my childhood, the experiences of the relationships that I had that shaped the way that I think about myself. So that came from my family unit, that came from church units, I think that came from society, things that I learned.
all those ideas from those experiments?
Some of them, from that, from experiences with people, things I've learned. I think also, and in that, I think the enemy has used those experiences to thwart and disorder the way that I think about myself.
Do you believe that, of course you do believe it because you said it, but I'm going to ask the question anyway. Those thoughts that you're having, do you think that they're telling you the truth?
About my identity? Not at all. I think a lot of
those things you say you were, that you are.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe those came from your thoughts?
Some of them have come to my thoughts.
And do you think any of those thoughts are true? About who?
I think like the fact that I'm broken, I think that is true. Yeah.
But how about all those other things? I'm a this and I'm a suffering and I'm a...
Like unworthy. There's times where I believe they're true. Yeah.
Right.
And I think that's
have you heard that God said that your thoughts are not His?
I have.
And so, knowing that those thoughts are not yours and not God, why do you believe them?
Because I've learned to lean on myself and my flesh, or I will feel more comfortable in that space within myself, of that way of thinking, or I'm not allowing myself or creating space for God to remind me or teach me or lead me to what is true.
Because none of those things, out of those 100 things you said that you are, you're none of those things.
Right.
You are a woman, of course,
yeah.
but you on this earth you're a physical woman, but you are not a woman. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
Spirit.
just under male and female, you're a woman. All your thoughts are lying to you. No such thing as a true thought. And God said that your thoughts are not my thoughts, my thoughts are not yours.
Right.
And in knowing that, because you read that in the Bible before too, right?
Yeah.
Why you keep believing the thought when you know they're not yours and they're not God? And so you have all these ideas. Why not stop believing those thoughts?
Yeah, because I'm a human and I'm on this side of eternity.
So what now?
I said because I'm a human and I'm on this side of eternity.
Where's eternity?
When the Lord comes back.
What?
I think when the Lord comes back.
But He has already come back.
Yeah.
And eternity is right here, right now.
Yeah, I think for me there's a part of a wrestle with the way that I think and feeling and like being in that brokenness. And there's also part of eternity that I experience here. But I think when it comes to its fullness is when I will be unchained from it completely.
What?
I don't know.
You said too much. And are you educated?
Like, do I have a degree?
You have a degree?
Yes, I do.
Oh. No wonder. No. Why don't you just drop the thoughts and be free right now?
Like in this current moment?
Yeah, never think again. What would happen if you stopped thinking?
Completely?
Yes.
I don't know that I could.
I'm sorry?
I don't know that I could.
What would happen to you if you find out that you could stop thinking? What would happen to you?
I don't know.
Give it a try. Stop thinking. You want to be free? If you could be free, would you want to be free? Of all traumas and all past and all futures and all those things. If you could be free of those things, would you want that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then stop thinking.
What do you mean by stop thinking?
What?
What do you mean by stop thinking?
Stop thinking.
Mm.
Don't think about yesterday. Don't think about tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think about who you are or who you're not.
Mm.
Don't think about who you love or who love you. Don't think about what you're going to say or what you're going to do. Don't think about anything, but just live. What do you think about that? Now I'm asking you to think consciously. What would happen if you stopped thinking, period, about any of those things?
Oh, any of those things specifically?
Anything,
I think, like, yeah,
period.
the things
The
that you
only thing-
listed,
no,
yeah.
The only thing you need to think about is going to work. And we're going to have for dinner.
Right.
Only think about those things.
Yeah.
Can you do that?
Yeah, I think my heart and my flesh and my spirit desire that for sure, and I think that's kind of been my path. What I mean by the wrestle is I think all I have is today, and so I think in today that is my desire, but it's been a wrestle, and I don't think I'm there in a place where I don't worry about tomorrow and not worry about yesterday.
You're not there yet.
No, I think it's like, I don't even know if there's a yet. I think it's just all I have is today, and I think in today, I just acknowledge that I need to create space for.
You need to do what?
Create space.
How are you
for
going to
God.
create space?
Eliminate distraction and be intentional in creating space for truth and Holy
because
Spirit.
of time? Let me do this because of time.
Mhm.
Your friend, has she told you need to forgive your mother?
Has she told me I need to forgive my mom?
Yeah.
Ever? I don't know.
She never told you that?
I feel like at some point in our friendship, possibly, yeah.
I'm sorry?
I feel like in some point in our friendship, probably, most likely, yeah.
What?
I think yes.
Speak a little loud for me.
I think yes. I think she has in some point in our friendship. We've been
And
friends
did
for a
you
long
go
time.
and forgive your mother?
No.
And why not?
It took time.
What?
It took time.
It takes time to go and forgive her?
Mm-hmm.
And how much time you need to go and forgive her?
I don't know. It really depended. And in that situation, it took some months.
I'm a little confused with what you're saying. Your friend told you you should forgive your mother, right?
Yeah.
And did you agree with her that you
Yeah.
see that you needed to forgive your mother?
Right.
Right. And have you gone and forgiven your mother?
Yes, I have.
You told your mother?
Yes, I have.
And what did you say to her?
I forgive you.
And what did she say?
Thank you for forgiving me, essentially, yeah.
And did you really forgive her?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And how about your father?
Yes.
Okay. And what did he say?
He didn't know how to respond to that.
And so, but you forgave him anyway?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So you're no longer afraid of your mother?
No longer afraid of my mom. No. No. I don't think I have fear of my mom.
No.
I'm like, fear. I don't know. I guess it's like, I guess there's in spaces or times I might be. Yes, I think I have fear from my mom. I think I'm afraid at times of being rejected by her.
What do you mean by that, rejected by her?
Not feeling fully seen, known, and loved by her. So that is a fear that is present in me. Yes.
And she doesn't have love to give you. She can't love you. She has no love.
Was that a question or a statement? Sorry.
All of it. You don't have to worry about trying to get love from her.
Mm-hmm.
She has no love.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
I think when you say it, what comes to mind is when I think of the fear that I have of being rejected from my mom is an acknowledgement that the love that I desire can't be fully fulfilled by my mom, which I, in my mind, understand.
Okay, it can't be fulfilled by anyone.
Yes, correct.
Nobody.
I agree with that 100%.
Are you able to come this Thursday night for the ladies' forum?
This Thursday night?
Yeah, it's once a month.
Okay.
Every third Thursday night. I want you to come.
I can definitely talk to you offline about it. I don't have much information about it, but
Okay. Yeah, your friend will bring you. It's for ladies only.
Okay.
And we really, no cameras, no, whatever happened in those meetings stays in those meetings. I really want you to come so we can all talk together. Can you come?
Thank you for the invite.
Yeah, come. All right?
Thank you.
Okay, because of time, I'm running out of time. here.
Okay, sounds great.
But any questions about anything so far?
I have a lot of questions, but I know for time we can talk offline.
Because I want to deal with this family too.
Yeah, no
I see
problem.
they're like, yeah, a lot to say. What's your question? No. Two questions for me.
Well, I have questions about the forum, what that is.
I'm sorry?
I have questions about the forum and what that is and why you would want me to be there and the
ladies'
intent and
forum?
purpose. Yeah.
Oh, because it's private. You know, like what happens in those meetings, stay in those meetings.
Gotcha.
And so the first Thursday night is for men only.
Uh-huh.
And because people tend to be more open when there are no mics and they're not going to be judged or anything. So that's what's so amazing about the ladies' forum. And the ladies are working on themselves. We have all races and everything. They're there. And so I think you like that better.
Nice. Thank you for that. Thanks for the information, too.
Any other questions?
No, not right now.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, though.
Amazing. You say you didn't know what it means to work on your mind? Is that what you said? And I said, I'll come back to you. So what?
Living from the mind.
Oh, I asked, are you living from your mind or from your spirit? And did you say you didn't know what that meant?
Correct.
Do you understand it now, or you want?
A little better.
You understand a little better?
Yes.
How much? What do you understand about it for now?
What do I have to say about it?
Yeah. What do you understand about it?
I understand that from what I've heard, correct me if I'm wrong, if you're living from your mind, you're living from your thoughts.
Yeah.
And you believe your thoughts are you, that they come from you.
Yes.
And then if you listen to those thoughts, you're going to react in a certain manner.
Absolutely. And they can make you feel fear, emotions. They make you feel unloved and doubt and worry, and they cause you to compare yourself to total hell when you live from your mind.
Yes.
They bring out all kind of emotions that are not even real either.
Yes.
But when you live from the spirit, that doesn't happen. Because you're just living without any agenda or anything. You're just being.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
That makes sense a little bit?
That makes way more sense.
Are you doing the silent prayer?
No.
Do you know about that?
Yes.
And why you're not doing it?
I don't, my thoughts don't really bother me that much.
That much?
Yeah.
How much you need?
How much what?
How much do they need to bother you before you want to leave, abandon them, period?
Oh, I don't know. It's honestly, my thoughts don't really rob me of my sleep or peace. They come around once every 3 weeks or so, but besides that, no.
But God made it possible, and He wants you to live a thoughtless life,
Okay.
a no thinking life,
Okay.
and be guided by the Spirit.
Okay.
That makes sense a little bit?
Yeah, that makes more sense.
I highly recommend you start doing it.
Excuse me?
I recommend you start doing it.
Okay.
Don't let Satan talk you out of it.
Okay.
All right?
Yes.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Did I ask you about the biblical question, young lady right here?
Well, no.
Okay, are you living from your mind or from your spirit?
I'm living from my mind.
And how do you know?
The last couple of weeks, I noticed that I've been giving in to the thoughts, and I feel like I'm watching myself go through the hell, but it's not like I'm completely separated from it. So I feel like I've caved into them. I've made a situation about myself and I noticed it was like something so much easier to deal with when I took myself out of it.
Yeah.
And but I kind of let myself get back in it, and I noticed that it kind of I felt like I was on a spiral staircase,
Yeah.
and it just I just went all the way down. Like I was like, wait a minute, I'm like right back at the starting line, when I thought I was at the finish line. So I know when I'm unconscious, I'm definitely in my mind. And those rare moments that I am conscious, that's when I feel like I'm living in the spirit.
Yeah. What's the theme for this year?
To be present.
Have you been practicing that?
Yeah, I was. I started it off just being more aware, and this one situation that I thought I was completely overcome, I just, for some reason, I just wanted to jump back into it with both feet, knowing that it was something that would cause me pain.
Yeah.
Or the not me pain. And that's been interesting to watch that. But just hearing everybody today, this gentleman over here, when he said that something could you feel like something will trigger this thing inside of you, and you're like, I don't want to react to it,
Right.
but you still do. And then even just hearing this lady over here with her husband, and I feel like I'm just relating to everything that everybody is saying today, because I'm in the same situation.
The young lady over here with her husband?
Yeah, the beautiful one, what you call J-Lo.
J-Lo. But she doesn't want to be J-Lo.
She wants to be Selena.
Selena.
Yeah. I understand why.
Selena. We love you, Selena.
Anything for Selena. Yeah.
Not J-Lo. But okay.
So I'm just gonna wait it out and let it pass, because I know this is just really making me aware right now, just listening to what everyone has been saying.
Right. I love these fellowships.
Yeah,
Because I learn a lot from the people.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with me, and I don't even know
Right.
why I decided to jump back into the pool. I didn't
Let me ask this, and then I gotta ask Hake, and then I wind it down. Why do you keep believing there's a you? When you say, I let myself into it, or when he said, I see what's going on, and I want to get angry. Why do you keep calling a false self you? This image, this illusion you got to die from. Two things now. Why do you keep, and for you too, why you keep calling it you when there is no you? And the thing that you're calling you, God said you got to let go of. You got to die from that in order to live. Why do you keep calling it you?
That's become very apparent to me just in this meeting. Why am I identifying with it still?
And why?
I think because the pain was if I let go of the pain, then I have nothing that connects me to this situation anymore, and I must be addicted to that pain. I thought I quit the addiction. I thought I had quit the addiction to that pain, but the moment that something came up, I caved into it. The not me caved into it.
Right.
It's like I'm watching myself, but I'm like like, what am I feel like I'm trying to be in two places at one time, and that doesn't work.
Right.
So I feel like I'm watching myself go through this false feelings, and then at the same time, it's like I haven't pulled myself completely out of it. So I feel like I'm in two different.
What would happen if you just completely stopped calling this false life, this ego life, you? If you never call it you, what would happen to it?
Well, I would. Well, it's gonna die, and I would feel like I'm completely free.
So why don't you do that?
Yeah, I thought I did. I thought I did let go of this thing, this whatever. Just I felt like I was overcoming so many things.
But the fact that you thought you had let
Yeah.
go meant that you had not let go, because there is
Yeah.
no thinking when you let go.
Yep.
And you want to live a no thinking life.
I have to get
Even
back
with the
to
fire,
that.
the one that hate everybody with the fire burner. He's only thinking about what he see happen, and so he's thinking he want to hate, he want to be mad, but it's not him. There's no him, no he or him there to hate. There's no one there, but he keep calling it himself as well.
Something else that came to my mind is, how do you, like, when you want to let the past be the past, like you want it dead and gone.
Right.
But you're around people that are gonna always, like, that's a big part of their life.
Right.
And you are around them.
Yes.
What do you do in that situation? Because you're like, I don't want to even talk about it anymore. Like, I don't want it to be a part
Stop
of my life.
talking about it.
Okay.
You don't have
It's okay for me to tell them, hey, I don't
Totally
want to talk
said that.
about
I don't
this
want to talk
anymore.
about this.
Because it's, yeah.
And
it puts me in
because
hell.
people love their misery, right? So they're gonna want to talk to you about it.
Yeah.
Because they love their pain, they love sharing their misery with other people. So they're gonna, but you can stop. I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
Just don't talk. You have a right to not talk about it. As a matter of fact, I would encourage you not to talk about it. I don't care who it is, your mama, your friends, the teacher, whomever. If you want to, you don't have to talk about it.
Right.
Don't let them dump their misery on you. It's just evil trying to draw you into their world.
Yeah, that's exactly what I saw it as. And it's like, I do care about this person.
But you don't.
But I guess I don't care enough to tell them
You
to
don't
stop.
care anything about that person. But otherwise, you wouldn't talk to them about it, and you would not be a part of it. You would tell them, I'm not talking about this.
I'll leave it alone.
Yeah, I don't care who it is.
Yes. Okay. Got it.
You understand? Y'all have a right not to talk to people about their mess and their misery if you don't want to talk about it. There's no law, not God's law, that says you have to go along with it. Don't talk about it. And they're going to get mad, like the young lady was saying about her boyfriend. I get ticked when he doesn't want to go, he doesn't say anything, or he doesn't go along with me or anything. That's the devil trying to draw him in. She may not realize it, but it's evil trying to draw him into her world. He doesn't have to go in that world. He's free now. You know what I mean? You are free. You don't have to go into hell with somebody else.
Yeah.
And
And I'm
then-
not helping, I'm not making anything better if I'm not, like, cutting it off for them too, because it's keeping it alive within them too.
Absolutely. Two devils.
Right. Bouncing off each
Yeah.
other. Okay.
So you don't have to talk about it.
Okay.
Really. But the mind going to try to make you think you should say something. You should say something. Poor person, you should go along with it. Give them a scripture or something. But that's just the devil trying to get you to be a part of the devil again.
Right. I haven't brought it up to this person, like, after that conversation happened. I've steered away from that because I already feel like I could see it put me in hell. So I'm just like, I don't even want to say anything about it right now.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Nice. Yes, ma'am. I saw your hand, right? Yeah. Okay.
Going to what she's talking about,
Yeah.
I'm trying to let go of my past, right? I'm trying to let go of everything.
Yes.
Because I don't
I'm
want to.
aware of that.
I don't want to
Right.
make that an identity for me. I thought by talking about it was in a way me working through it, but you're saying now, don't even talk about it.
Right.
Just
Let it go.
Yes. Because think about it, who is talking and who are you talking to?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now
And
let's
that's me
say
living
let's
in
say
my
that
misery.
let's say your boyfriend working on himself and you're working on yourself and you realize something about yourself. Like, oh honey, you call him honey sometimes?
Among other things.
Do you call him oh honey, I just realized I felt fear just now because I thought about something. And he's gonna understand that conversation. So he's not gonna feel bad for you or that kind of talk is fine, but to try to pull him in, oh, cause you angry and you just want to have somebody else be angry and you want to take your mess out on him, then no. Don't have that kind of conversation with you or anyone.
Right. Okay.
Let that pass.
Gotcha.
All thoughts are all lies all the time. That makes sense?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Actually, that's very helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All thoughts are lies, no matter what. God wants us to have a thoughtless life. I mean life. No thinking. Don't even think, oh, I have arrived or I this. If you think you have, you haven't.
Mm-hmm.
There's no thinking in God. It's only knowing. It's only seeing. And when you see, you're free. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. So I got to do this really fast and then Hake and then I got to end it. When you get mad at the politicians and you can see what they were doing, right? Why do you say you're getting mad?
For the sake of communication.
But you're lying though. And you're keeping with the devil who you keep identifying with. I'm getting mad. It's enough to see that anger is tempting you, the thoughts, right? Yeah. Because you see how these people are. But don't get mad. You can't judge them. Anger is judgment. Anyone that has anger is separated from God. And you're as bad as the people that, the politicians and everyone that's allowing this to happen, causing this to happen. You're as bad as they are because you're judging them. They're lost too.
Right. No, I agree. That's why I don't know if, I don't want to be angry. I'm trying to be aware of it so that I can control it. Or not even control it, just not feel it.
All you need to do is watch it. And don't call it, don't give it a name, don't communicate with it.
Right.
It's the light of God that allows you to see the darkness of the imagination, which is evil.
Right.
His thoughts are not your thoughts. And the fact that you can see it, don't call it you, don't say, oh, I don't want to get angry.
Right.
Because there's no you to get angry. That's the devil pretending to be you to get angry.
Right.
He wants you to think it's you so he can live in you.
I just hope our governor doesn't think this way.
Your governor?
Your governor, our governor.
Of California?
Yeah.
Does it think like you?
It's not me. There's no me to blame.
Oh, if he thought that, he wouldn't even be the governor. He would be doing the right thing.
Right.
And right people can't become governor.
But I do agree immediately when you said that I'm judging them.
Yeah, you are. You're looking at them and you know better. We're all fighting to overcome evil. Look how we treat each other. Look how family members treat each other.
Right.
This is hell on earth.
Yeah.
When I told you the story about the little Chinese lady that killed her daughter, her stepdaughter, out of jealousy. She wanted to be the son, wanted the son to be her husband. She didn't want any other woman to be it. So she killed her. Satan told her that.
Right.
And so those people that are doing what they're doing, they're on an ego trip, they're about money and power, and they use other people to get it. And they use one another to get it. And just like in your life, anyone that has it, and you're using other people. You pretend you're smiling, but you really has an agenda in your mind. It's not real love. The smile is fake. You want friendship or you want something from the person. They're the same way. They want money. You can see it and not agree with it, but just don't hate them. Don't be angry.
That's what I was, as soon as this thing started, I was like, oh, here we go. Another test.
because you, and you're right in that Satan is tempting you in the mind, in
Oh,
the
yeah.
spiritual. You're absolutely right. The temptations come through the mind, through the thoughts. You know what I mean?
And it's even worse because I have a mixed bag of relationships with people, some on this side, some that agree with me. And I was noticing that there's no difference between the people that agree with me or disagree with me.
Yes.
The result and where it takes me in my mind is equally bad.
So don't have a relationship with anyone.
Right.
Really, don't have, that's another identity. Because you expect one side to be like you and the other side to be against you or not like you. But if you had no relationship, you're going to see they're all the same.
And it does feel, I noticed this part was kind of embarrassing to myself. I noticed that I enjoyed sending videos of, some people are really talented. They edit a video to make people look even more stupid than they already are.
Yeah.
And I would send them to my friends and we would enjoy it.
See there?
And that was all ego. Like, who am I?
Pure
Somehow
ego.
I'm getting a superiority trip over it.
Yeah. Why you're judging these people, because you're judging them, you're
Yeah.
carrying out evil acts, doing the same thing.
Right. And I'm not helping anything.
At all.
Yeah, that's
What a mess.
hot mess.
Hake. I didn't see hands. Let me ask Hake this, and then I'll ask you guys. I'll let you, both of you respond. Yes, Hake, living from your mind or from your spirit?
I think from my mind. Well, yeah, I know from my mind.
And why you say from the mind?
Because I spend a lot of time obeying my thoughts right away.
Right.
And thinking about stuff that I don't really need to be thinking about at all, but it feels like a life-altering thought. And it potentially, a lot of these things potentially could be, but thinking about them would just lead me down the wrong path.
Yes.
So
Are
I'm
you
thinking
practicing this year's theme?
here and there I am.
And what is this year's theme?
Practice being present.
And when you say here and there, what do you mean?
That mostly I'm in my old habit of getting lost in what I'm doing or thinking about what I'm doing and what I think, what I want to do next or what I'm looking forward to or whatever.
It's amazing how we all in the same mess, huh? That's why God said we must be born again. We must return to the Father. Salvation is about a return to the Father. We all must be born again. We all have the same story. Maybe situations a little different, but the same story. We're deceived. Don't want to be J-Lo. Let me ask you a quick question. From the time you woke, what time you woke up this morning?
The first time I woke up, it was like
Yeah, when you were in bed and you woke up, what time was it?
like
Around
maybe
about.
almost 7.
Almost 7.
Mhm.
Have you noticed since waking up the number of thoughts that have gone through your
Oh
mind?
my God, yeah.
You've been aware of that?
Yep.
That's amazing, huh?
Yep.
And they've been thoughts about the past and about the future.
Stupid stuff.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
That's what the theme is about this year. Be aware of those thoughts.
That's actually one thing I've been doing the beginning of the year, a couple weeks, well, since we spoke.
Yeah.
I've been obviously doing the silent prayer and just laying in my bed for almost 20 minutes sometimes and just letting all those thoughts go by
Right
and
on.
just making sure that I don't hold on to anything. Because these thoughts are ridiculous. And again, I hear a lot of people saying, and I feel it sometimes where I'm like, oh, damn, that is me. Like that thought, like, hold on. I want to hold on to certain thoughts, but then I'm like, nope.
It's not you.
Even if they're good thoughts, I'm like, okay, I got to let that go too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That's crazy.
When God said that his thoughts are not ours and our thoughts are not his, he wasn't playing about that.
Yeah.
That is serious.
Yep.
Thoughts are pure evil. No such thing as a good thought. They're all lies, they're all set up, they're all evil. We live by knowing, not by thinking. Live by knowing the truth not by thinking about the truth. That's amazing. Nice. Yes, sir.
So I mentioned my dad a few minutes ago. So since we had our talk and I was over there cooking, I asked God to let me see myself and where my anger comes from.
Yeah.
So fast forward, my dad calls me for something, and I hang up, and then I call him right back. And then for the first time ever, I truly forgave him. I forgave him because the resentment that I held towards him, but I actually saw why I was wrong.
Yes.
I didn't forgive him just to say, hey, Dad, I forgive you, go away. But I actually felt that it was wrong of me to resent him, to judge him, to wish he was this
The
person.
same way you're going to be sending out video to make him look stupid.
That's right.
That he was doing with the politicians. What a mess.
It was all a...
The holy man.
So my lesson from that was forgiveness is the purest form of love.
It is.
And hatred and resentment resentment is the purest form of hatred.
Anger is all hatred. Anyone that has anger is evil. They are murderer. There's no love in anger, period. Zero. Yes, sir.
I agree with that. I find myself thinking about murdering certain people, and I don't think I'll ever do it, but I have a question. Did God love Adam more than he loves us today?
More than he love us?
Yeah.
No.
He doesn't love
He
him
loved
more?
Adam the same as he loved us.
Then how come he didn't take a rib out of mine and make like a custom wife for me, like handmade, not like...
What?
Yeah, because you know how he took the rib.
So you ask, why did he take a rib out of your life to make your wife?
Yeah.
That's a crazy question,
But
man.
how? I can't help but
But
think.
but you're not thinking. Satan got you thinking that. We're just talking about all thoughts are all lies. Satan have you think, okay, well, God loved Adam more than he loved you. Why did he take a rib? And you believe in it. Drop that thought. And then only seek the kingdom of God. And it's meant for you to get married, he would give you a wife. And it'll be the right one.
But even if he does give me a wife, I'll still think of her as like a sister in a way. Like she's some way related to...
Well, don't worry about that. He's not going to give you one until you get a clear mind.
Right, no, for sure. I just...
Yeah.
When the loneliness hits and I start thinking, should I go to the bar? Should I go to
Right.
the...
Don't go to the bar.
Yeah.
And don't call the loneliness you.
Right.
It's not you. It's just another thought. It's not you at all.
Yep.
All right?
Thank you.
Amazing. So listen, any questions or anything? Okay. Yes, sir.
So is it that the devil just has me completely convinced that I'm living when I'm actually just dying?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Because when you truly start living, if you go through hell, you will live, and there's no thinking about living. You just live without thinking about it at all. You just live, and everything works out very well. Here's what I recommend because of time. None of you in this room are yourself. You are not living your own life. You're only living the life that you've been taught to live. You've been told to treat people a certain way. You've been told to treat your neighbor a certain way. You've been told to grow up and get married. You've been told to have a family. You've been told about God. You've been told when to smile and when not to smile, when to be rude and not to be rude. You've been told about religion, and that religion is the thing to do. And so you got into religion. You've been told you're supposed to be married, have a family. You're living a life that you've been lied to. And you're trying to live up to that life. You've been told about morality, so now you're trying to live up to a life of morality. You're trying to be moral. And you have never been able to succeed at it. Not one in this room or watching on camera have lived up to what you've been told to live up to. You have never lived up to it, and you're not going to be able to live up to it. And you've said over and over, I'm going to be a better parent than my parent. I'm going to be a better parent than my parent. And you're not. You're as bad as they are. And you repeat the same thing. So what I recommend, drop all your morality. Stop trying to live up to anything. There is nothing to live up to. You understand that? There is nothing to live up to. You only think that it is because you've been told there is something to live up to, and you're trying to live up to it. And you're never going to do it because it's an illusion. It's not even real. There's nothing to live up to. Don't try to be like anybody. There's nobody on earth that you need to try to be like. You want to be like you. You want to be you. And you don't know who that is at this point. So drop everything. Drop all your illusions. Stop trying to be religious. Religious people are the worst, some of the worst, are the worst people on earth. Judgmental, angry, lonely, looking for a wife, looking for a husband. They're doing what you're doing. They never can get the right person. The Jewish too. And I love the Jews, but they have the same problem. They may have all the money, but they feel lonely and lost. They're waiting for Christ to come. He has already come. They're already free. They don't know it because they live in their minds. And they're doing this traditional thing every Saturday, walk up and down Pico, like they don't have a car. And every Friday, everybody got to go to the same old party. Can you imagine having to go to the party every Friday from sun up to sundown? All that doesn't need to be happening. It is finished. It is done. You're only living in your illusions. Really, you're living a lie. Drop all what you've been taught and just live. Just live. No more values, no more morals, no more nothing. Live your life and see what happens. This year I want you to work at that. Practice being present. Being present meaning you're right here with God not up here. You're with God all the time. You're always present, but Satan's going to try to draw you out and make you think about the past or the future, or make you think you're looking for something that you need this and you don't. Drop every thought. All thoughts are all lies. They're not from God. And the truth is inside of you already. The kingdom of heaven is inside of you. Forget about everything and live. Just live. And don't be angry at people. It's enough to see, because what you're looking at is hell on earth. The Old Testament is being lived on earth. The burning of the buildings and hating one another and judging one another, comparing one another, murdering, raping, and robbing and killing and being lonely and being doubtful. It's all hell on earth. Hell is right here. Heaven is inside of you and above. So live from within. Drop everything you've been taught, and God will give you a brand new, renewed mind. He will renew your mind, and you'll be free. Come out of your prisons, all right? So practice being present. I don't care. And most people are not going to stay with this because they don't want to sit still. So many people don't do the silent prayer because being still and letting God take over, Satan don't want you to do that. And so he tell you, oh, you don't have to do it. You already know what you're doing. Or do it later. Or it doesn't work. And he say to the Christians, oh, you got to pray to God. Lord, have mercy. I need you, Lord. Come out here, bless my mama. Bless I need the Holy Spirit. I need this. And you're praying to the devil. God said, be still and know it's all done. All you need to do is live. Stay present with me, him, God, and everything will happen for you. All right? So I'm out of time, but practice being present. And no biblical question this week, hopefully tomorrow. But you got to stop and let go. Just let go. And let the light of God guide you. All right? Work on yourself, folks. And die from the old. Oh, when I say you got to go through hell to get to heaven, what I mean by that, you literally got to let your ego suffer. You got to let it suffer. You got to let the ego feel lonely, feel doubtful, feel worried, feel afraid, feel poor or feel rich or feel better than or feel less than. You got to let the ego feel that. You got to feel it. You got to stay with it. Ride with it, live with it, and let it die. And when you feel afraid, you got to feel the fear. And what is happening, you are going through the hell of the ego, which is not you, but it feels like you, and it feels like hell, because it's very painful. But you got to go through all of that. This is to like bring you, the force you out of all of that. You got to let that happen, and God is trying to save you from it. And it is hell, but you got to go through it. And then on the other side, the ego will die, and you will be in paradise, the real you, the real you. So go through the hell. And don't yell at your boyfriend when you get mad. Just be mad, but don't call it you. That make sense? And when the ego try to make you judge yourself, oh, you don't look this way, you don't look. Feel that. Feel it. Do nothing about it. Don't call it you. That'll change too. Everything will change. You will be free, but you gotta let this thing die. Don't talk to other people. Somebody want to talk to you about their hell? Okay. Unless they're asking you how to get out of the hell. And you even say, hey, you got to, whatever, God leads you to say, right? But don't go to hell with them and talk about it. Don't feel sorry for anyone. Because it's not happening to them. It's happening to the illusion. Death is not even real. The only real death is the death of the ego, the illusion. You don't have to die. And you're never going to die. Except the ego, if you let it die. All right? That makes sense? I'm out of time. The Women's Forum this Thursday night at 7 p.m. every third Thursday night of the month. So come on down, ladies. This is our first one for the ladies, right? Oh, Lord. Why joy, Lord. Come on down. It's going to be a hootenanny. We had an amazing men's forum this last Thursday or the Thursday before. So get ready for it. And ladies, this year, and you've already been doing it, completely commit to working on yourself. Really. Don't think you need a man to make you work on yourself or anything. You need the Father too. You need the Spirit of God, all right? So work on yourself. Don't give up. Don't let the devil tell you need a man for this. No, you don't. You need the Spirit of truth. You need this, just like we do. The men need God. You do too. And salvation is about a return to the Father, all right? So thank you for your support. We'll do the super chats tomorrow. And thank you all. Bye. Amazing.